I'm Jaap Singh, Director of Customer Strategy at Secure Code Warrior, where our vision is to inspire developers to embrace a preventative secure coding approach that enables every team to ship quality software with confidence. With me today, I've got Mr. Rao, who's the Head of App Security at RCNT, which is the retail group at TCS, the second largest business unit after BFSI. So we're very excited to have Mr. Rao there. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, thank you. Hi, thank you. Hi, Jaap. Thank you very much for inviting me for this conference. I'm very excited to understand what is to know about it, DevSecOps challenges and tools and everything to explain about it, and interesting about what are the questions and other things so I'm ready to answer.
Awesome. Now, today we're going to be digging into DevSecOps, the biggest implementation challenges. And I'm sure I don't have to tell you, if you're going through this journey yourself, diving into DevSecOps, or maybe you've decided you're going to upgrade, some other engineering practice, or it's going from Agile to DevOps, or going from Waterfall to something else. It's fraught with challenges. If you look up DevSecOps book, one of the top hits that you're going to get on DevSecOps is the epic failures of DevSecOps. So just going to tell you that these things are not easy. Now, in terms of Mr. Rao, where he works, fun fact, so I'm from Australia, where the capital city is Canberra, and TCS has 450,000 people, and that is the same number of people in the entire city of Canberra. I'm not sure if you knew that, Mr. Rao, but I just thought I'd share that fun fact with our audience. But without further ado, I'm sure the audience wants to hear from you, and I know you've been at TCS for 21 years. You started on the front line as a developer. Do you want to tell us what you're doing today at TCS, what your role is, and your particular business unit at TCS? What do they do?
Yes, Jaap. Hi, I started a long back. It is almost 21 years journey in TCS. I've played multiple roles, and I started as a developer. Then after that, slowly I'm interested in security point of view. Then I slowly moved that as part of my career. I've chosen the security as one of the thing, and I was leading the business lead of security. After that, I'm taking care of the entire security for the entire business group. Particularly, if you see that there are multiple groups out there as part of security, where we have the information security, application security, privacy, and multiple things. But I take care of application security, and I oversee the privacy, because privacy has become one of the top topic in the entire industry. I take care of oversee the privacy as well. That's a point of view from my side. This is a long journey and career as a part of DevSecOps. If you see, when we started the long back around 21 years, we have the traditional waterfall life cycle model, HDLC, and which you have iterative model, one cycle after cycle, other thing, and each software takes a long time. It is a year and a half to get into the production and everything. But slowly, if it's 2008, 2009, it is this entire thing has changed. It's a go-to-market has become one of the top priority, and people have started moving to Agile. But still, Agile is also has its own challenges. In 2015, 2014, it has the challenges like where operation is working as siloed way, and it is way, and whereas the development is working in different directions, and it is they're always fixing the incidents or some of the issues. It's taking big challenge, and people started moving the DevOps. But it is a DevOps when we are talking about it, but it is a development and operations working together, and it is a last 3-4 years people have started adopting the DevOps. But if you see that the culture of security is becoming one of the bottleneck, because it is during the pandemic or during the any time security issues are increasing day by day, and it is because of hackers taking the money and selling the data in dark web, whether either PA data or due to the compliance like issues like compliance related to GDPR and or CCFA California Privacy Act or other things, PCI, any HIPAA compliance and everything. They're ready to steal the data and their thing. And there is security has to be embedded as part of the DevOps or any cycle, even if SDLC or SSL or something. The biggest challenge is culture. Okay, because it is a development people or developers will come with the saying that if you see primary competency or primary skill, they come with either I have the Java background, I have the Node.js or React.js or kind of thing. But if you see, if they ask them, it is a what do you know about security? It is a they don't know, they're not much aware of the security. The biggest challenge is they are not they're not inculcated that security is one of the things which we have to take care of it. If you see, the security is there everywhere, or everything we have to build it out, or we have to be either if you buy a car. We look for the security, like it has the brakes, it has the airbags, it has the door, everything. It is a part of the inbuilt. That's why we have to inculcate that security culture in the DevOps developers. That's the biggest challenge, where it is the culture has to be built into the every developer, that they have to come into the development along with the security. And second is, I take a knowledge gap. People will come with the great interest of I know very much of the anything I can develop or anything I can do it. When they go to the production, yeah, and it's a 0-day vulnerability, and when they see the vulnerability, or when they see attack happens on the product or kind of thing, shit, I would have not thought about it, I never thought about it, the security is one of the thing and everything. The knowledge gap is the second one, which is a very very biggest thing in their industry. Okay, because his developers never thought about security and never interested or never learned about the security. Okay, it is not if you see manufacturing industry, or if any energy or sources industry or kind of thing, they have to the day one. If you see any induction mission or manufacturing any mission or kind of thing, they have a particular physical security as a given say first utmost importance to that. But whereas while developing the security or any software, security is back and took a backstab in the every developer mind, and which is a now as a everything is a digital, and every software is all software is ubiquitous, and it is a part of our journey, and the software should be part of every app, should be ensure that it should be developed securely. That's why the knowledge should be getting to the every developer should be getting to the knowledge of security, and whether what kind of training we have to give, and how do we what kind of framework which we have to give it to the developer. The day onboarding itself, we have to think about it, how they have to have along with their primary competency, security can be inbuilt or can be as part of their journey, and everything we have to think about it. And the third biggest challenge is tools. Okay, security tools is a, if you see, it is a industry wise, we have the almost around 700 800 tools. Every technology they have tools, and every space they have the tools, because design has its own tools, and which SAST has different tools, and DAST has a dynamic security testing has a different tools, and dependency check we have the tools and everything. It is a multiple tools, 700 tools. Each is a what tool, and there are a few tools are commercial and few tools are open source. Which tools they have to inculcate, they have to embed it as part of the, it is a biggest challenge. Okay, it is a one of the thing, a right tool has to be a part of the thing they have to choose to ensure that they get the security compliance or security issues. Third thing is, when we go to the DevOps, it is either we have to go for big bang, or it will be going to the as a bits and pieces and everything. I would advise to start with the journey. You CI/CD pipeline, or if you have it, first you start embedded the CI continuous integration with the development plan, do check act, whatever the things you have, the security should be embedded as part of the continuous integration. Then after the deployment phase, slowly we have to integrate with the tools like STX, or we have to put a user entity behavior analysis or Splunk, these tools, so that it will be there. The operations part of the security operation part of should be automatically feed into the development, so that it will be CI/CD pipeline is continuous. Okay? This should not be go for the big bang, and show it should be too complex to the things, and the culture should be adopt slowly. And once you adopt it, you know that you know the challenges, and once you know the challenges, you can fix it, and you can fix the things on the day-to-day cycle of the CI/CD pipeline. These are the four challenges I'll put it: culture and knowledge gap of the developer, and the tools, and how do we integrate with the CI/CD pipeline with a not a big bang approach, and go with the cycle, and after that slowly adopt the CI/CD pipeline.
Awesome. And so I'm looking at this and I go, cool, I now know what my 4 challenges are that I'm going to run into. Me as a security professional, Rao, I want to go into my organization tomorrow and I say, hey, I'm bought into this DevSecOps vision. I think, like you said, it's going to help us go to market faster. It's going to help us embed security. How do I do this? How do I get started? What are the challenges I should be tackling? What are the things that I should be doing? What are the initial crawling baby steps I should be taking?
Yes, for the initial baby steps, what we have to do is, it is a first pillar of the any development is a what kind of technology and what kind of developers we are taking of it. If you have the taking the developers, we have to choose them what is the knowledge required, what is the training is required, okay, what are the training skills are required. We have to see that it is a, they might be having it is a mixed combination of if it is see as a DevSecOps, we have the multiple roles like a security engineer, we have the architect, or we should be having the operation engineer, and it will be embedded as part of the team itself. It is seven sprint size of around 20 people or 10 people or 15 people. We have to be having a security also as part of the one of the security engineers should be part of their group. And you should, once they have the part of the this all the who are they having the architecture group or security engineer or operation engineer or who are the things or entire DevOps engineers group, it should be having the right skills and right technology, right tools or kind of thing. For that we have to train the team. To training the team, we should be having a different things like whether they have the kind of threat modeling while design the initial design, whether they have threat modeling, whether they have the requirements, what kind of requirements they have to think about it as part of the security requirements, or while security doing the testing or code quality checks, they have the SaaS tools as part of the code quality, like a linked tools like whether statics, normal statics tools like whether they have the Sonar or they have to have a code quality checks as part of the ID integrator while building the code and while executing the code, or SAST and Dash should be there. And for that we have to give a training to give the what around combination of data privacy and security. It should be kind of secure coding practices, whether they have the direct practices, right coding skills, whether they have to have a like the IAM framework, they have the right IAM framework, they have it identity access management framework, or how they have the that kind of thing, knowledge training should be embedded as it. Then after that we have to choose the some kind of what are the tools which we have to have, because it is when we are developing it, there will be multiple technologies, multiple things developing, because it is a application. When we are developing or app we are developing, we'll be having a application. Now it is a mixed combination of it is web application, or it is a multiple APIs or microservices, or it may be mobile application also. If it is a in and all combination is with now it is a container based, or it is maybe cloud based, or it may be a serverless architecture or kind of thing. When we are thinking about it, we should have the right kind of tools which we have. Is if it is a whether if I'm taking Kubernetes or container, where I have the entire I'm building the entire app as a part of code infrastructure and everything, I'm putting the container as part. I should be my code and my security and everything should be part of the entire cycle itself. It should be built. Once build is over, as part of the journey of the cycle, every phase, every toll gate should be having automatically, they do the SAST, it automatically do, and it give the any bugs or kind of thing automatically, they give the backs to the developer saying that your code is not passed to the SAST, and or it's not passed to dash or dynamic application security testing or IAST. And it is if they are using the third party libraries, whether they have the source software component analysis should be there automatically. If it is a new jar is upgraded, like Apache 9 8 to 9 is upgraded, automatically SCA kicks off or dependency kicks off, it automatically this new vulnerability is there. How do you integrate with your struct framework, or it should be given to the developer saying that this should be fixed, or a right combination you should be having that, so that it will be a full fruit journey and toll gates for the entire life cycle. Okay, that knowledge should be given, and right tools have to choose it, and as part of it. And once you have to do your CI/CD pipeline, you have to have a tool gates, whether it is a if there is a failure of any high or critical vulnerabilities are there, that tool gate should not pass it due to the developer. And if there are some kind of false positive analysis, and they have to do it, and there should be analysis say that what are the false positive analysis should be breakout, should be ensure that false positive should be automatically removed as part of the journey, so that it will be they move to the continuous development of the cycle. Okay, and apart from that, it is a completely the third part is as part of CI/CD pipeline. The thing is operations part. Most of the things we develop it, operations part or SOC, security operations center always works as a silo. Whereas currently thing, it is a SOC center is it should not be like that. It should be whatever they investigate or whatever these issues will they coming, or somebody ready to hack the systems or kind of thing, or somebody bypass the one of the tool gate or web application firewall, they're able to inject into, they're able to come to the 2 3 they're able to get into the application. We should have to capture the logs, and the log analysis should be given to the developer, so that a next iteration, or it is because sprints always 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or continuous integration, it is a every day, every night it will go batch. So every morning we should be having some kind of user stories or some requirements or security, which coming from the event SOC center also should be part of their goal, and should be going to the as part of development.
And I think that's something that not a lot of people talk about, right? So even when people are talking about DevSecOps, it goes all the way up to deploying your code to production. And then the SOC team is kind of left to handle all the mess. So I'm sure all the people who work in SOC, the SOC analysts, they're rallying and saying, yeah, Rao's our man. He's fighting our fight. We want to make sure SOC is part of it as well. I think one of the points that you mentioned, which I think is absolutely key, is yes, we need the right tools and we want to automate as many things as possible. But in the beginning, it is about hiring the right people. It's about making sure that any sort of knowledge gaps that do exist, which will happen, right? Naturally, as you're going from an old process to a new process, people need to be trained up on it. Do you want to take us through that journey of, when I'm in those initial stages, how do I find those right people? How do I fill those knowledge gaps?
Yes, definitely. Okay. The knowledge gaps is a very difficult challenge. Okay, because it is a people people, all developers will come with a very strong minded saying that no, if the security comes with it will be done by a security team. Okay, it is a not my cup of tea, not my cup of coffee, because it is a they don't want to learn or they don't want to interest it. But if you see, we have to give the when we hiring this thing itself, we have to see that we have to give some of the examples, like what are the industry is going, how the industry trending is, some of the examples, like top 10 incidents happening in the world, and what are the why this kind of incidents happening. Suppose, let's say, if it is some of the incidents happened, or Equifax is one of the best example I'll give sometimes. It is a structure framework which causes the Equifax. It's the entire credit card, almost 250 million users data credit card data got exposed. And this is because of the structure framework they're using it, and the structure framework which has the latest release, they got released it, but still they adopted the least one version before that, and which caused the small bug, which also they told it is how to mitigate that bug kind of thing. This should be this kind of knowledge we have to developer never think about it, because it is a third party library and they will take care of the security, and it is not my cup of coffee. And other parties, security testing is or SaaS tool or dash tool takes care of the security testing, and once it's the end of the cycle it has to come, or once they've done it, or it will be taken care. And in the recent behavioral driven development or test driven development or kind of thing, they most of them they will think about it as a part of the functionality test driven development, or I need to go to the market very fast, so that I need the functionality very good and everything. I'll give the example. This kind of some of the examples will give it. This kind of Equifax, or recently whatever happened, Aadhaar is a leak or kind of thing. It is like people may think about it. SQL injection. SQL injection is one of the basic check which if anybody does the sanitation of input or output, one of the top worst top 10 is injection attacks will be. First attack is that because it is a first is a sanity of the data, which is developer cup of tea. Developer has to take care of it. This is one of the thing I'll give it as part of the developer one. We hire it or kind of thing. They have a strong mind saying that developer security will be taken care by somebody, but I'll tell them no, it is not the security. Somebody will not take care of it, because it is a infrastructure. Because we are going from the container based or serverless based architecture. Still people are legacy, people are old people still thinking about a firewall takes care of the security and everything. It is we are not in that world. We are gone in a much more far heard of the world where serverless and container. Every application whatever we have it has to be, you have to take care of the 10 steps of secure program practices or secure coding cycles what you have, or you should be having a secure code checklist to verify it. Tool verify it obviously, but it doesn't mean that everybody has to do their own piece of thing. It is, as a developer, you have to take care of your security, and it is one of the utmost thing while writing the code. And you should not leave behind some of the things like your configuration files with the default passwords and everything should leak the data. These are things which we have, and I'll give the developer saying that it is your cup of coffee is a security. Okay, it is your skills as a mix of development 80% or 70% of your core skills, and it is a 20-30% you don't have the security, you will be lost the world. Okay, and if tomorrow is your application getting hacked, then you are the responsible for this, and you are the primary core person who have to think about it, why the security is part of the thing. And I'll give you another example of a kind of thing. When you go to your house or kind of thing, you are staying in an apartment, you are staying in any house or kind of thing. house has a door. Okay, it is a minimum security gate. Okay, it doesn't mean that you will not, because you trust everybody, you trust neighbors. It is apartment, you trust your security guard and everything. It doesn't mean that it doesn't have the gate. You have the lock, you have the door, you have to get into the door and you lock it when you go outside. You should get into the outside, you open the door and you will not give the key to somebody, so that it is the same thing. It is every developer, your house, your application, you have to take care of the security. And somebody construct doors without door, you take it? No, I won't take it. It is a door. Without door, how can I take his house? It should be same thing. It is application should be coming with the security. When you develop the application, you should come with the security. And that's a culture which I'll tell them. And for that, some basic knowledge of tools they should need it, or it should be integrated with IDE. It should be integrated with their scope of the things, so that they will embed it as part of it. And if they get the errors and everything, they should be having a knowledge how to fix the OS top 10 either API securities or privacy securities or top 10 web applications, top 10 or cloud. They should be having that knowledge. And if there are any errors are coming, they should be able to have a they should be able to see that and they should be able to fix it. And they should have that knowledge, and developers should have that things, so that it will be right skills coming as part of it. Okay? That's a knowledge has to be given, and the tools also they have to give, so that they will be having the right thing to be developed.
Awesome, bro. I think we're getting to the end of it, unfortunately. I'd love to just keep listening to you. You have so much goodness and so much knowledge, but we are to the end. So I want to finish off with a rapid fire question. So you mentioned 4 key challenges that you run into with DevSecOps: the culture, the knowledge gap, getting the right tooling, and then how you integrate it into the CI/CD. What's the biggest challenge out of all of these 4?
It's a knowledge.
Okay, knowledge. Well, there you go. You heard it from Rao. So that is Rao, who is a complete expert in the space. He's running a DevSecOps practice at scale. So Rao, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much to interact with your entire team. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to interact with you all.
You too, Rao.